Hi, I'm Ralph Ferret from the Communication Workers Union, and this is my video blog about my project Vegetember. This is in relation to my union's Climate Solidarity project. What's happened is the CWU, along with a number of other unions such as the UCU, the PCS and the NUT, is engaged in a climate solidarity project with the charity Coin. In this project, what's happening is a number of groups of people are setting up action groups in order to reduce their carbon footprint either at work or at home. The CWU's Youth Advisory Committee is one of the action groups, and as part of that I've decided to take on a personal project. So what I've decided, having looked at a menu of various different things that can be done that were provided to us by the Climate Solidarity Project, is I've decided to have a meat-free September. Now, I'm a vociferous, voracious carnivore. I love eating meat and quite frequently have meat for at least 2 of my meals a day. But meat production is a very intensive way of making food, and it uses a lot more land, causes a lot more emissions, and is probably not the best way to make use of agricultural land. And whilst I'm not against meat, and I have no intention of becoming a vegetarian permanently, meat consumption levels as they are in Western Europe and North America would not be sustainable if everybody in the world did them. And it's probably fair and legitimate for all of us who are meat eaters to eat a little bit less. So over the course of September, I have endeavoured to not eat any meat whatsoever. I think it's going to be an interesting, difficult and challenging project for me, because eating meat is very ingrained in the way that I cook and the way that I think about food. So I'm anticipating it's going to be difficult, but hopefully very, very rewarding. Now, there are some things that I'm expecting are going to be real big positives to me. The truth is, eating meat and being able to rely on takeaway food, things that I can buy from the supermarket on the way to work and in the canteen at work, probably means I'm a little bit lazy in terms of my food production. You're often eating very fatty, unhealthy, high sugar content food when you buy from a garage or from your local workplace, or fast food output, and I'm sure it's probably not particularly healthy to be eating a lot of this food. Similarly, a lot of meat products themselves are very high in fat and salt. I like to eat bacon, sausages, all sorts of bad things, and whilst these can be part of a healthy and balanced diet in proportion, it's probably not healthy to eat them as much as I do. So I'm hoping that there'll be some practical health benefits. Similarly, if I have a structured way of planning, preparing my meals the week in advance, where I have to think about what I'm going to eat, I'm pretty confident that I'll save money. I mean, if you end up buying sandwiches from your local supermarket, you're probably spending pounds and pounds, whereas if you have a well-planned process for making sure that you've got your food at work as well as at home, I suspect I'm going to save money. I very, very much doubt that I'll be convinced of being a vegetarian at the end of the month, but I'm hopeful that I will have saved some money, maybe lost a bit of weight, had less carbon emissions, and perhaps I'll be able to have a more balanced approach to the eating of meat within my diet. That can only be good, I think, for my health, can only be good for my wealth, and can only be good for the environment. So over the course of the month, I'm going to have a series of vlogs such as this one, where I talk about some of my experiences. On Lunchtime Legend, I'm also going to be blogging in the conventional manner about some of my experiences with this, some of the recipes that I've come up with, some of the different types of food that I eat, and hopefully after the end of it I'll be able to draw some useful and interesting conclusions about what it's been like for me to be a vegetarian and the ways in which it's going to have changed and modified my behaviour going forward. Because although I don't plan to be a vegetarian forever, I do plan to eat less meat. I do plan to use this as a mechanism that I can reduce my own personal carbon footprint, and hopefully these kinds of individual things can have an impact on how we challenge climate change. I think one thing has to be clear. There's no individual solution to these difficult problems about climate change. The way our economies are structured, the way we generate energy, the way we transport people around, are not things that can really be solved by individuals acting on their own or as part of small groups. But what we can do is have an impact on these things, and what we can be is part of a movement that moves to a more sustainable type of economy. These kind of action groups and things like climate solidarity are definitely part of the solution. I hope to play my part, and I hope this can be an enjoyable and informative experience. So, as a big, fat West Country meat eater, I'm mourning the loss of meat for a month, but I'm also excited about the prospect of what this is going to be like. Hope you enjoy.